show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. We got a great show lined up today, and of course, we're going to talk about MrBeast, the number one, of course, a streamer and influencer in the world. So that's going to be a lot of fun. How does that tie into a Bitcoin immersion and crypto? We're going to look at that as well. Get a bit of the secret sauce out, and then of course, ETH staking Fomo is in play. So the supply side is shrinking, and it is building pressure to the upside. So for the ETH price, we're also going to look at LibertySwap continuing to roll out major upgrades in waves after waves after waves. So that's going to be very exciting. Of course, Peacock there expected to pick up later on. We're going to be giving an update on a CoinWell from Jen and Rack and Rochelle. So that's going to be pretty cool. So look forward to that later on. And sorry, not CoinWell, Coin Mafia, I should say. And then also we're going to have a end the show with a little bit of a snapshot at the PDC The Greys and UFO new dashboard. So we're going to look at that. Looks pretty groovy. I'd like to see more of these kind of groovy dashboards. Very, very exciting, and just helps people to make good decisions and get excited about the projects. Pretty awesome. We got Crypto Dan in the house there. Interesting times to unfold. Indeed. Now, it is Monday here in New Zealand, currently 11:17 a.m. And it's the 19th of January, can't believe it, already. Racing through January. Just had the new year, and now we're already racing through. I reckon, what do you reckon? Every decade you get older, time like goes twice as fast. I don't know. I guess if you're in your 90s and you've still got your wits about you, does it mean that 12 months is like more like 1 or 2 months? It's probably something like that, is it? So that quick? It's like you missed it. Time is a funny thing, especially as you get older for some reason. I don't know. Crypto Dan in the house, missing interesting times to unfold. Indeed. We've got Excavator in the house. I just think I repeated myself there. Hey gang, good to see Excavator. Big shout out. We got Pesky Girl in the house there. Good morning, Superman. Good morning to you, Pesky Girl. Hope you're doing well. And Vets in Crypto as well. I think the communication needs to be better from the coin affiliated family and who's associated with what's it, Codwell? Coinwell is I think you're what you're saying, and who's associated with the Coin Mafia, in my opinion. Yeah, well, we're just covering it normatively, and we're going to see how it progresses. I am super excited to see what Rack and Michelle can do. He is obviously well connected, venture capitalist. Got a number, I think, other businesses, in particular, I think around gun ranges and things like that. Possibly, yeah, that sort of stuff. So I'm interested to see. It's very exciting. We got L Will in the house there. Is PDI $1 yet? There's a future. Yeah, well, there's lots of that going out right now, right? The latest theory is the P compound, and there's also probably a secondary one tied into the old LibertySwap, possibly with the layer 0. Now, I do note LibertySwap has provided quite a lot of branding and maybe utility support to PDI, so they seem to be rather interested in that themselves. So, yeah, we'll see. There are teams trying to make it happen, right? So we will see. We'll keep open-minded about that too. Keep an open mind about everything. Well, not everything, but we're doing our best to see how we go. Crypto Dan says, I thought we glitched there. I did glitch. All right, we're going crazy. It's not a crazy show today. We do have crazy shows from now and then, but I'm trying to be, trying to keep to the play. Don't forget to share the channel around as well. As you guys know, the only large Pulse Chain influencer channel that does daily shows. I was off yesterday because I've got a few things happening at the moment. So I did say that right through the sort of early February, I might have a few different things going on and until things calm down a bit. So if you wonder why that is the case, we got Goody in house there, 2026 year of the Firehorse. Says Goody, yeah. Well, it's the year. I think it's going to be a year of altcoin season and year of Pulse Chain. Pulse Chain's probably going to move a little bit later, depending on what Richard does, right? Richard, I think, is the key trigger there. Although, I am excited about what Rack and Michelle could potentially bring, not with Coin Mafia, but with Coin Well. That is going to be pretty exciting. And what I mean by that is, investment coming in through the US or through Saudi or something like that. So we're keeping a lookout for that. Capital flows are king, and that's key there. So some of the projects that I think that Rackham's working on, crypto-wide, the kind of crypto audience, and of course he's got apparently a big influencer network there, but also it's capital. Capital flows. That's the really king pin, right? Can you bring in new money, new capital? And we're going to talk about the bridge today, by the way. So that's coming up as well. I forgot about that. We're talking about the bridge today, and see where that is going, because obviously we had particularly into last year, for several months, we're having capital leave Pulse Chain, but we did start off pretty well in the 2026 with a lot of capital coming in, and so we're going to look at that later on with Crypto Solved. Did a nice little piece on that, so we'll get to that. We've got David in the house there. Evening all. Good to see you, David, as always. Big shout out there. And what do we got? The Crypto Dan says, shared on X, everyone should also. Exposure is our friend. Yeah, get out there, folks, and share the channel around. Helps a lot there. All right, so let's get into we've got no stock market news, of course, because it's the weekend, but crypto's 24/7, baby. Yeah, baby, yeah. It is the future of finance, and thank goodness we've got Trump in the White House, because that is leading the way. And I think we're going to have a lot of good stuff for the crypto policy, as well as United States investment into crypto coming up. I think we're going to have some nice surprises for sure to the upside. So it's going to be pretty cool. All right, we will talk a little bit about the regulatory situation as well, with the Clarity Act. Of course, we'll talk a little bit about that. All right, let's get into it. So actually, let's go to full screen, shall we? I think we do go to full screen for the crypto markets here. So 3.326 trillion is the market cap based on CoinGecko. Remember, CoinGecko has like 20,000 coins it tracks. 18, actually it's lower than that, 18,948. And Coin Market Cap tracks, I can't remember the exact number, it was 20 million, something like that. So they're very different trackers, but they have certain ranking requirements. We'll probably talk about that when we get to LibertySwap, actually. We've got the Bitcoin price at the moment at $95,439, up 0.2%. We've got Ethereum at number 2 at 1.3% at $3,350. We've got BNB at up 0.1% at $951. XRP at number 5 is actually down 0.4%, $2.06. Solana at number 6 is down 0.8% at $143. And number 8 is Tron, down actually up 0.4%, just below 32 cents. So Tron not doing too badly lately, actually. And Doge at number 10 is down 0.7% at 13.75 cents. Now we've still got the flippening of Figure Helic over Cardano, and the gap there is about $200 million right now, so not a lot in it. But the Figure Helic flipped, was it 2 days ago? Flipped back Cardano there. All right, so let's see what the best performer was the last 24 hours. Well, it was Ethereum, up 1.3%. Best performer over the last week is also Ethereum, up 7.8%, followed not too far behind by Tron and then Bitcoin. Top 100, we got Dash, good old Dash, sitting at spot number 100, but is number one performer, up 123.6% over the last week, almost 10% today. Internet Computer, which was during the bear market, was particularly was one of the leaders, right, performing. Number 56 right now, up 32%. So it's having a bit of another push higher. Monero, number 18, is up 16.5%. And we've got Provenance Blockchain or Hash up 14.8%. And then Pump Fund up 13.4%. Now, think about Pump Fund, of course, we're going to be talking about Coin Mafia. Coin Mafia, of course, is not just going to be tied to one chain, but going to be over 375 chains. That's something that will definitely have an amplifying effect on growth, but it also creates a dilemma of promotion, right? So promotion to that. So it does have referrals in it, but you still got to get awareness out. So that is the challenge there. So it's a pumpamental, but it's also a big challenge in terms of 375 plus chains. So that is certainly, it's like I said, I said CoinWell, which will, Coin Mafia, when we go up to, is a marathon, right? It's not a sprint. So we're going to look at that coming up. All right, so that is kind of where we are on the overall top 100. Top 1,000, we've got Surge, we've got Frax, and of course Frax there is stablecoin, right? It looks very depegged right now, $1.20. We've got Frax, previous FXS, $1.18. So I'm not sure exactly what's happening there, but that is on the move there with Frax. We've got trending at the moment, Axis Infinity. The Sandbox and Dusk are trending right now overall. So that is pretty much the overview of the market. Let's jump into some of the charts though. Bitcoin at the moment on the monthly there, you can see is looking pretty good. That is the monthly chart, and we've got the 50 monthly moving average in yellow. So we're well above that. So, things are looking good, guys. 2026 is hyper good. We've talked about that. We've got everything lining up. We've got monetary policy with a little stall in it, I would say, obviously with no interest rate cuts, but that's going to turn very aggressively towards the second half of the year, right? Monetary policy. We're already seeing money printing, and of course that is good, right? More money to go around has to go somewhere. Interest rates have declined, so it means people are going to take more risk on, and of course it means that costs of capital are cheaper. Therefore, people have got more money to spend on other things. But of course, we've got this little pause for in the first 3 or 4 months of the year, right? And then we've got Jerome Powell being kicked to the curve in May. So we've got all that process in play. And then we've got monetary policy generally well in our favor. We've got fiscal policy. The Trump administration doing a wonderful job with the three big problems, right? Trade deficit, federal budget deficit, and of course the public debt, right? So Trump is dealing with all of those things, and those are going very, very well. So we're seeing really good results on all those. And then, of course, we've got monetary policy, we've got fiscal policy, budget policy, and then we've got fiscal policy, right? So really, pulling that back really nicely on the costs and maximizing revenue. Trump is treating the United States as a balance sheet, and that's the first time really that's been done, and leveraging it all. So that's going to be incredible results. We're already seeing GDP come in, 4.3%. I think 2 quarters now. But I think with getting past the government shutdown, which impacted GDP maybe by about a percentage point, and also getting interest rates down eventually later in the year, that's probably going to add another percentage point as well. So we could see the US economy start growing by 6%. Isn't that insane? That's insane numbers, guys. So that is the golden age of America. So that is kind of the play on there. So at the moment, we've got Bitcoin there looking at 95,410, entering into fantastic monetary fiscal policy. We've obviously got crypto policy as well coming up, which is looking really good. We obviously had the Genius Act. Regulations should be done by July this year. So that's a hyper pump there in July. So second half of the year is looking really pretty damn good, isn't it? And then, of course, we've got the Clarity Act, which has been stalled a little bit at the moment, particularly around Coinbase's criticisms of too much favor the TradeFi banks. There's a battle between the centralized exchanges and the TradeFi banks, who all want to dominate the financial markets overall, as well as crypto. So you got TradeFi going into crypto, you got crypto going into TradeFi, and there's a bit of a battle there. Some of them are making deals together, but others aren't, right? And then you got the payment rails as well, like Visa and MasterCard and etc., all happening there, PayPal, etc. So you got a lot of stuff happening in that space. So yeah, that's kind of the play. And then of course we should expect that to be done by January 27, right? So that's the Clarity Act around stablecoins. That's the Genius Act around stablecoins. The Clarity Act, as I said, has been stalled, but I think there's probably a 50-60% chance that it's going to continue to be pushed forward, but probably move into February now, with more meetings to be held, which I think's ideal in February. So that'd be pretty cool. And that's going to deal with the Clarity Act. Will deal with what the regulator who controls that, SEC, CFTC, I think it is, and also around securities, what is a security, etc. So that's going to be important, and a whole ton of other stuff there as well around custodial. So it's a really big deal. So that's moving forward, and that will just open the floodgates ultimately, right? That's kind of the ultimate floodgate opener there. So we have stablecoins and market structure. It's going to be pretty epic. So game on. So that's why markets waiting for that. So February are looking more likely now. So that's the play. With that, we do have some challenges. We've obviously got the interest rate pause. We've got the midterms. We've got the Supreme Court around the emergency use of tariffs that's coming up. I think late January, February. Can't remember the exact date, but that's coming up as well. So we do have a few little things like that. Government shutdown possibility January too. We've still got that. I don't know whether the Dems are going to play that card since that didn't work for them well last year, and they got the midterms coming up. So those are kind of four challenges or things that might move the market down. But the actual big long-term things are all hyper-pumpamental, right? Around monetary fiscal policy, government policy, and of course crypto policy as well. So exciting times. Now we could see big announcements around crypto policy with the investment. Obviously we know that Bitcoin was going to be budget neutral, but we could see some big things opening there, the surprise to the market, to dramatic to the upside. So we'll keep a lookout for that. I'm not suggesting necessarily the US government will buy strategy outright, but that's one way of getting 1 million Bitcoin or heading towards that way. So that is some of the stuff happening right now. So we're well above the 50 daily moving average. 50 monthly moving average, I should say. Monthly moving average is at just below $66,000. We're currently at 95,400. So let's go to the daily and have a look at that. So daily at the moment, we've got this death cross that's been playing out since the 16th of November, and that was not far behind. If you remember the 10th of October when we had the liquidity event in the market, which wiped out the markets essentially in crypto for about 8 weeks through to most of the end of the year. And so we're just consolidating and starting to shift up right now. So we've got a bit of a gear shift here. Obviously having a little bit of a setback with the Clarity Act delay. And so that's kind of where we are right now at 95,400. Now, obviously, Tom Lee's been talking about some potentially aggressive re-rates in Ethereum, and that if it does break to the upside, then 125K, for example, then it could get re-rated pretty severely to 160 pretty fast, which would be pretty insane. But we do see a lot of supply things for that. Markets do tend, when they do move pretty crazily to the upside or downside. And so here we are right now with this in the middle of this death cross, but we have got the 50-day moving upwards. So we are getting that upward trajectory. We've got higher lows, higher highs coming in on the daily. So looking pretty good. And like what we're likely to see is probably another move to the upside and close out that death cross into a golden cross, probably leading into February. And that's, of course, when we probably expect some action around the Clarity Act. All right, so that's kind of some of the cool things happening there at the moment. The 50-day moving average is at 92,400, and the 200-day is 99,400, and we're currently right in the middle there. So golden cross, another bullish thing as well. The market will love that. Now I don't have the any other averages on there, but you can overlay other things there too, like RSI and stuff. All right, so that is the Bitcoin. Let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum at the moment on the monthly, we've got the price at 2,568. We're currently at 3,345. Some of our recent tops, 4,400 here and back here in November, where we had was it close to 4,900, I think it was. And so at the moment we got we're just quite above the moving average on the 50, which is kind of bullish. We've had a longer consolidation phase, and I think that Ethereum, out of all the markets, stock market, commodities, silver, gold, etc., and all that, is the one that's really the one that's got the most potential to the upside. I think that's huge. Not only in terms of 26, 27, but of course a 10-year play like Tom Lee suggests. So I think that's pretty exciting. So there we go. This will probably be considered super cheap right now, this 33.45. And we've got some potentially huge re-rates going on. So yeah, The other thing, of course, is that the expectation that Ethereum will get re-rated versus Bitcoin. So instead of being about 8%, moving up to 25% of the market value of Bitcoin. So that suggests network value maybe based on 2021 of about 60,000. But if we get re-rated 25%, then suddenly if Bitcoin hits 1 million, then you're talking about $250,000 of Ethereum. And that's we know everyone's coming in, the money's coming in. So it's just about holding your portfolio and swing trading all the way there. Now, in the real economy, even though we've got the US going to be booming, and that's going to pick up a lot of other countries in the world that have got good trading with the US. Is that you still have to be really clever these days to not miss the boat. This is the chance of a lifetime. This is the golden age of America, and while Trump is president, you've got the chance to make incredible money, and of course that would be bode well for your future, your retirement, your health, etc. It is a window of opportunity, unlike anything else. So you guys are here at the right time, right place. Place your bets, get the good stuff. Don't speculate too much on the crazy stuff. I always say 5%. If you want to speculate, 5% of your portfolio, put it to that, and then you can go on off, have fun, put in some DGM wallets, and go for gold. But you want most of it in the low hanging fruit. In other words, relatively safe and with massive upside. And I think Ethereum is looking hot for that. So that's kind of where we are right now on the old monthly. Let's go to the daily. And let's have a look at that. So daily, obviously, we had the death cross, and this came in a bit later. So I think it was about a week later than Bitcoin's, and that's been playing out, starting to curl back up too on the 50-day. And we are even stronger because we got the price just popping above the 200-day moving average now. So Ethereum looking even slightly stronger. And like I say, I think it's the one asset that's really lagged behind. Obviously, there's other big plays with the big mega themes. The big mega themes, of course, are payment rails, tokenization, and stablecoins. Right, these are the big ones, particularly for stablecoins for Ethereum, and of course, payment rail is probably not only for Ethereum but really for Solana as right. We're at the SVM chain with all the high transactions. So we've got a few things going on there. So that's kind of where we are. So Ethereum looking pretty damn good, just popping above the 200-day moving average right now. And we could see maybe another spurt growth here before the end of January. And February could look very, very good with the, particularly if they're able to progress that Clarity Act, which I have about 50-60% in favor at the moment. We've got a few people in the house. So we've got Rolf Kane, Superman in the house. Indeed. Always good to see Rolf. Valiant as well. Greetings. Bank of England preparing for alien disclosure. I saw that. Crazy stuff. Investors might flee to crypto. It's going to get interesting. The Bank of England. All right. We got Luna in the house there. Hey, Superman and gang. Good to see you, Luna. Big shout out. Welcome to the chat as well. Valiant says maybe Vitalik will be the crypto ambassador to the aliens. Yeah, indeed. What's the aliens? We got the lizard people. We got the whites. We got the greys. And there's a fourth one as well. Let me know in the chat there if you guys don't remember what the fourth one is. So there's the lizards. they're the violent ones, aren't they? The lizard ones. There's the greys and the whites. And there's some I'm pretty sure there's a fourth one as well. So let me know in the chat. I know some of you guys follow that stuff. No, Valiant does. The mantids. Is it? The mantids? Okay, cool. Yeah, I thought there was a fourth line there. Well, it's there's two theories, right? Aliens or demons, right? Aliens or demons. So there's the two theories about aliens, that they're actually aliens or they're demons. So there we go. All right, so that's kind of where we are right now on the old ETH. Let's jump into the return so far. We've got Bitcoin right now is up 8.68% for the year. So remember, the end of last year, we had negatives. That was very sad. We had the liquidation event in October, and it was a negative 3.69%. Then November was at 17.67%, and then December negative 2.97%. So no Christmas. There was a couple of days in there that was a bit of a Christmas run, but not really much happening there. So we had a negative quarter last year, but we started this year off very strong, and that's a very bullish sign. So we've got this 8.68%. Now, we have had the last couple of years start off, green, 25, 24, 23, and we ended up with very good February and March like we did in 2024. And, March wasn't too bad for 23 as well. But we can get this Clarity Act pushed through, and then and get some more good economic data and stuff like that. I think we're looking pretty good there. Now we do have a bit of things around Greenland and the tariffs on the EU countries, as Trump's expanding the United States to the greater United States, which I think will be a pretty good thing because of the issues we have with China coming up. So China is the problem with China. China hasn't really had a war since 1969. I think it lasted about a month or so. But the problem is they've been in war. They've already been in a Cold War for some time against the West, right? So, we're not going to break all that down, because I might get pulled off YouTube. But that's already in play. We've already been in some sort of soft war with China along a lot of different fronts. It's a whole big topic. And what you do is even though if you haven't had a war since 1969, or skirmish at least, then you got the issue of if you're building up for war, right, which they are doing, right? Their whole civil economy is also built for war. Like all the ships they make, their ships are built for war. They can be converted into war. That's how they build them, things like that. Then eventually you get to the point, well, are you going to pull the trigger because you're kind of pushing yourself that way? And that's the real risk. And so 2027 is currently kind of the window that people are suspecting, which happens to be the second year of the golden age of America. And that's one reason why the United States is ramping up their military and their resource and resource security so much. If you're wondering why they're doing so much of these things, that is the reason, so that they can deter China doing that. Because if China does go into Taiwan, they're not just going to go to Taiwan. They've got a regional navy. They're going to go into a lot of the countries around it. And of course, the US has a lot of bases there too. So it's a pretty much game on. We don't, at an authoritarian state, we don't really want that war either. Because if you remember Japanese, they were absolutely brutal. They went to China. I can't remember the numbers, but 30, 40 million, I think, was some of the numbers that were killed, civilians, a lot of them civilians. It was pretty brutal. So, and of course, pretty brutal in the invasion of the South Pacific as well. So that if they're willing to put 1 million people or so into political prisons and things like that, then it's not going to be good if they do decide to do a regional war, because regional war will go to global war. And if you're in the wrong path of the Chinese in the early stage, you will be, it could be pretty bad. So we don't want any of that stuff happening. So, power through strength is the way to go. We've seen the Democrats and liberals and progressives and globalists run power through weakness. They're very good at oppressing their own people, but they're terrible at against foreign powers, right? So this is the time to peace through strength, and Trump has been rolling that out like a boss. Kind of cool to see all that. So that's going to be good. We want strength and peace, and therefore, when we have this economic prosperity, we can all enjoy it, and we get to keep it rather than it being stolen for us if some army invades our shores. All right, so that's kind of some of the overview there with Bitcoin. Bitcoin there looking pretty good, 8.68%. Let's bring on a strong first quarter. And expecting, 26, 27 to all be strong, because we're going to have some pretty historic growth rates, as well as enjoy the rollout and development of the fourth industrial age, the intelligence age. I think we're going to see some pretty exciting things. Last thing I'll say about this is that if Elon Musk is on track with SpaceX, we could see Starship, take off at the end of this year and land on Mars. And it could be a couple dozen ships doing that. And I've mentioned this before, but we could see Optimus, probably version 3 or 4 by that time, land on Mars, and it's going to be quite something. And how do you top off the golden age of America? Well, you top it off with something like that, having I don't know, a couple hundred androids, humanoids, androids or whatever, landing on Mars and being televised to the world. I think that's going to be pretty damn exciting. So it's going to be fun. And then after that, then we're going to have Terminator world after that. Probably in 20, 30 years from now, the Z generation will be cursing all the Gen Xers and everyone else, the baby boomers, because there's a Mars wars versus Mars Optimus Prime wars versus Earth or something like that. Who knows? But it makes for some fun. We got Valencia's insectoids as well. That makes 5 families or 5 species. Valencia's China is watching the US get stronger and stronger under Trump. They might decide that it is now or never but it will be bad for them if they do. Yeah, they certainly, yeah, it will be. Yeah, so especially with what Trump's doing. Good morning, all, from Sean. Good morning, and up only, says Sean. Up only indeed. All right, so that's kind of where we are. So we started off pretty well. Let's look at the Ethereum as well, because we're going to build out the Ethereum story there. So we're up 12.25% this month. Fantastic, right? And because Ethereum was even worse, right? We had four red months, September to December, plus the liquidation event in December there, in October, and look how bad that was impacted on November, down 22%. So we started really nice this year. In 23 we had a nice first month, and we had a really good month. The whole first half was really good. I think that we'll probably have a good month in January, maybe February, March, but we could have a bit of a dip in the first half with some of those four risks that I talked about. So we'll see how that plays out. I think the economic numbers are going to come in fantastic, but we do have still those other things that can move markets. So just take note of that. But then the second half of the year, I think, is going to be absolutely gunning it, all green. So going to be pretty cool. I can't remember in the midterms. Let me know in the mid if you don't remember. So we'll talk about that. All right, so that is the performance so far out of the gate. So we're looking pretty good for 2026. That gets us into some of the title of the video, which was around Tom Lee, right? So Tom Lee, number one, MrBeast, number one streamer. Now, we did cover this the day that a lot went live with the $200 million investment, and people were going, what the heck's that for? What, has this guy lost his mind? I think it's a marketing genius move, but we're going to talk about a few of these things. So Tom Lee just gave the rationale behind BitMine's Beast Industries bet. Most people are misreading the BMNR times MrBeast deal. It's not crypto investing in YouTube. It's a $200 million move to become the largest strategic investor in the biggest creator-led brand on earth. And I think there's a two-way window for this too. I don't think it's just one direction. I think it's bi-directional. Then connect that audience to Ethereum native finance, and that's the bi-directional stuff, right? So you got getting the social side of the investing, the social side of the business, but also mass adopting Ethereum, and we could see that coming up as well. So let's have a look at the Tom Lee's video. It's about 4 minutes and 43 seconds, but it's pure gold. So let's listen. I think I got the sound on. Let me just double check. I might have to add that back in just to make sure I've got the sound on here. Let's add that on. Bam. All right. So here we go. I'm going to zoom in on this too, just to make it a bit bigger. And let's see how we get on. In fact, we might, maybe we'll go to this screen. And let's watch this now.
Confusing, okay? We made a $200 million investment into Beast Industries. I would say if someone said, what are you expecting to accomplish? If this was just like, hey, I'm going to make a $200 million bet into Beast, no brainer, okay? Because he is, I'm going to skip around. I'm going to jump. Because he is the iconic content creator of our generation. There is nobody more important to Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and Millennials. Now, I'm looking at the room, okay? I'm gonna guess, okay, that the representative population of Gen Z, Gen Alpha is not here, okay? Because otherwise you guys would be using a lot of slang I don't understand. I see some millennials, but I see a lot of Gen X and a lot of baby boomers, okay? So the thing is that you might think that we have gone off the rails, but that's not the thing, okay? MrBeast is the #1 content creator in the world. And if you're not following how important he is, first of all, he has 1 billion followers, okay? 1 billion, there's 7 billion people on this planet. He has 1 in 7 people following him. But I'm going to say I only think there's 3 million people with internet accounts. He has 1/3 of all people that are on the internet following him. That's reach. For instance, he has the only person with more followers that are celebrities is Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, okay? And of all the creators, he's 1 billion. The next is, I can't really read the name. I need my magnifiers. Okay. 300 million. He is a giant among content creators. In fact, nobody's going to be able to become MrBeast again. I would say it's almost impossible for someone to, in the next 10 years, to get 1 billion followers. And he's created this organically. In fact, if you look at YouTube usage, MrBeast has more viewership than Walt Disney or Netflix or NBC or Paramount, Fox, Warner Brothers, or Amazon. Nobody's more watched in streaming world than MrBeast. Okay, and think about that for a minute. And the Super Bowl, which is like considered the global event, gets 256 million views on that event. Twice a month, MrBeast puts out a video, and each one gets 252 million views. His content is more watched than the Super Bowl. Okay? So he has 535 million views a month out of his 1 billion followers. They are super engaged. And now he does all these collaborations. That's the key word. Okay? He collaborates with all these people that you might care about somewhere on this grid. Okay? But he does content with them. And guess what? Well, actually, let me just jump forward. Well, yeah, let me back up then. Okay, so that's where it comes with us. So again, I'm going to start with what I just said. So if it was just a $200 million investment, guys, this is a no-brainer. This guy is the most important content creator in the world. And BitMine was invited to invest in their capital structure. Look at who else is allowed to invest. Social Capital, which is Chamath, Alpha Wave. MrBeast himself, he owns 51% of the company. We're the largest corporate and strategic investor in his company. So we are big, okay?
So that is the update there. Just going to remember to put the mic back on. But it's a $200 move to become a strategic investor in the biggest creator-led brand. So I think that's a no-brainer. Everyone gets that. But I think the key is that he's going to connect that audience to Ethereum's native finance, so DeFi and tokenization, and that is the long game. And of course, he's talked about a 10-year game for Ethereum. He is helped leading that whole sort of substantiation of that moon time for Ethereum. And they've got an app coming up. So they've got an app that's going to be launched coming up. And we could very well see this be added there. So we're going to see a whole ton of services there around Ethereum, DeFi, and tokenization. And that's probably going to expand over time. And that could be distributed through MrBeast, through one of his brands, because I think he does chocolate and other things like that. So, and MrBeast is just starting to ramp up. He's just only beginning his corporate expansion. And so you're probably looking at billions to tens of billions, etc., on and on and on. It's going to be a juggernaut. So a master move, I think, by Tom Lee going on here. So pretty exciting. So with that happening with BitMine Immersion, #1 strategic ETH reserve, which is currently staking right through their Maven protocol, staking their Ethereum. That was supposed to take up to about 70 days, more or less, depending on when they pull the trigger. But that is, I think they've done 1.5 million Ethereum out of their 4.2 million so far. So that's kind of the key. And they've still been buying more Ethereum, right? Because they're trying to head towards 6 million Ethereum, which is 5% of the supply. Remember, the total supply of Ethereum is currently 120.7 million Ethereum. And we've got a lot of things happening with Ethereum right now, which is also going to be bullish for Polestar. I think eventually it's going to roll, rotation, other effects, wealth effects, and the connection effects with Polestar. And I think that's where LibertySwap is really early on all this. So I think that's really cool. So Ethereum Layer 1 just broke the old narrative. On-chain activity is an all-time high, while fees are an all-time low. Weekly transactions now exceed 12 million. Median transaction fees are below 2 cents. More usage and lower costs at the same time. L2s and blobs, so it's a kind of a data data function or data storage there on the old Ethereum are doing exactly what they were designed to do. Demand is rising, costs are falling, the base layer stays secure. And remember, Pulse Chain is the first and fork of Ethereum with a full state copy. So I think we're going to get a lot of love eventually from all this. So that is kind of what we're seeing at the moment. So we've got the in yellow is the Ethereum median transaction fee, so 2 cents, and then at the top here we've got the a transaction count heading towards 15 million a day. So you can see that clear uptrend there with the transaction count. So I think that's pretty bullish. So operationally, Ethereum is looking really, really good. Let's jump over to the supply side of things. So if the operations of Ethereum are doing really well. And I think the last EIP upgrade I think we had for Pulse Chain was about 4 months ago. So we're still running on, we have had some upgrades still running on that upgrade. So we can kind of pick and choose what we want out of Ethereum. So we got ETH supply is quietly getting tighter. Ethereum staking now absorbs 46.6% of total ETH supply, guys. So 46.6% of total ETH supply. Remember, it's 120.7 million ETH. And depending on what trading volumes are, as whether Ethereum will be deflationary or not. I think at the moment it's still inflationary, but the more volume that comes through, they could quickly start getting deflationary as well. So Ethereum staking now absorbs 46.6% of total ETH supply, 77.8 million ETH. That can't be right. 77.8 million. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with that number. It's locked in the validated deposit contract. Staking. 77 is locked in 120. Yeah, okay, maybe that's probably about right. Looked there, locked in the validated deposit contract. Just seems that number seems a bit odd, but staking growth isn't driven by hype. It's been steady and structural. And here's the interesting stuff. So the execute for staking Ethereum has gone to 0, which is crazily good. Valid is 1+ million, and 38% of the ETH supply is staked year on year. So it's pretty awesome how much staked. And of course, we've got these strategic ETH reserves like Bitmine Immersion buying more and staking it. Less liquid ETH on exchanges and millions of ETH there. So we've seen less liquid ETH on exchanges going from about 20.7 million down to about 16.2 million. So about 4.5 million ETH has disappeared since the strategic ETH reserves have been accumulating it, and now we see Bitmine Immersion, in the process of staking it as well. Millions of ETH waiting to stake, so everyone's trying to get on there. No doubt that will lower the yields, but still extremely attractive yield. And then if you get supply constrictions, you get price go up, and even with the lower yield, you're getting a lot. You're going to get more with the price going up, right? So it's kind of the win there. More validated strength and security, and more staked ETH reduces sell pressure. Result downside volatility softens, pullbacks feel calmer, and of course you get a more mature market, right? But in this particular phase of it, you're going to get some mad gains for relatively low risk in the context of crypto as it matures. So you can see here this red line on this chart is showing the percentage of ETH. So we're up to 38.4%. ETH now held in the past. So we're up to 77 million there, it says. And the price of ETH there obviously is starting to climb, but you're going to see it probably catch up pretty dramatically as we get to some, sort of a supply squeeze with demand bigger than supply, right? That's kind of, we're heading there very quickly. And that's why, just like we had in silver over like 18 months, we went from, I think, like $18 to $95. We're going to get some pretty strong re-rate here as well. And of course, if you back in the bull market in 2021, you know that happens very quickly. But I think we're probably, if we do get a big rally in Bitcoin, leading into February, we could see at the end of the 4-year cycle and game on, which is what we're expecting, right? It's probably more like a 5.5-year cycle. That's probably what's going to happen here. So that's kind of where we are with the old ETH chart there. Let's go into our final. So building on this theme of ETH staking, we've got no ETH sellers left in line. Ethereum's validated execute is now 0. So no validators are waiting to unstake, no pressure building. 2.6 million ETH waiting to enter staking right now. So we saw no one's leaving, but everyone's coming. And we've got Bitmine Immersion there leading the way there. 45-day entry queue to get in. 36 million ETH staked, well, around 37. 30% of the supply, says here, slightly different numbers on this one. Active validators near all-time highs. That didn't happen by accident. Tom Lee's fund strat has been clear that staking demand is structural, not cyclical. Bitmine is scaling ETH staking at institutional size as part of the shift. So now we're moving into institutional staking, which is going to mature the whole chain because they're buying it and they're staking it and they're never ever going to leave, right? Because as soon as they'll find it difficult to sell all the ETH that they acquire, and so they're kind of in it to win it. It's all or nothing, and they're helping to make that happen, right? So they're never ever going to leave. I can't remember what movie that's on, but large holders aren't executing; they're lining up to lock up supply, and so other players are looking at these strategic reserves like Bitmine merging, looking at the bigger picture of everything that we've talked about leading up to this point, and they're all like, okay, I better not sell my Ethereum. I better not do what I've done in the past. I better stay in the game and make more mad gains. So that's kind of the idea there. All right, so a big deal, and that comes back to MrBeast, right? Because MrBeast is going to help put more demand from the wider world, the global world, as he said. Out of the 3 billion people online, a billion of them watch MrBeast. So this is about mass adoption, and this is not only is it a huge market expansion, it's also an insurance policy too, right? So Tom Lee. Smart guy. So that is the play there. We can see the validator queue there. So we've got all the Ethereum wanting to come in, and the exit there gone down towards 0, right? So the red one there, no one wants to leave. They're all going to stay. They're never, ever going to leave. Anyway, jokes aside, that is some bullish stuff there going for Ethereum. So I hope you guys enjoyed a few of those insights there. They're pretty cool, I think, and very bullish. And of course, the wealth effect from the golden age of America, the opening up of monetary policy, all the good stuff. You got leaders leading what could be a 10-year cycle for Ethereum with Tom Lee. You got the convergence of crypto and capital markets, and now the conversion is kind of a trifecta. Capital markets and now a conversion with social media, right? So those three things, the promotion side of things, all connected. So you got money, technology, and the people are now connected, and it's game on from here. And you guys are all here early. Damn it! How did you guys do it? I don't know. It all happened. It was magic. All right, so that's kind of the play there. We're going to get into Pulse Chain and break down, and of course, let's have a look at that. So remember that the sacrifice money, if you consider a magic carpet ride, that if Ethereum does massive gains, if it heads up towards 60K, maybe if it gets to 25% of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's $1 million and it's 250K Ethereum, then imagine what the magic carpet ride money will be, right? It's insane just to think about that. We know that in the near term, Richard was at least thinking $10,000 was pretty attractive, and of course he got, the sacrifice money went in at 37.73 approximately. And so mad gains there. So, it's going to be very difficult for Ethereum, for Pulse Chain not to pump. Not only are we going to get the benefit, I think, generally of the wealth effect on Ethereum, but also we've got, we don't have the downtime like we see on a lot of other chains, and we're a full state copy of Ethereum, then that's bullish. And then in addition to that, the Treasury Reserve is only going up in value. So that, just scraping off a bit of that could pump Pulse Chain to all highs, right? So, and you've just got to be around for the event. You've just got to be around. If you're going to cry fag, as Richard would say, then you're going to miss it. You're going to blink. Damn it, it's gone. Volumes are low, bridges are low, blah, 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 cry fagging. That's the kind of the idea. Now, I have nothing against that because, the prices are down, the volumes are low, right? So it's a buyer's market right now. But you just got to either believe or not believe, and be around for when it happens. And we all know in crypto that it happens in a small window, generally speaking, although I think we're on a long-term upward trajectory. Some of those mad gains in a specific period, so you want to be around for that. And of course, we did have Richard, talking about, gold mad candles are easy to make these days with small liquidity. We've still got weak hands leaving and doing things like that. We saw that earlier this week, and we're going to talk about that too. And so, we're going to check out where the markets are right now. We've got Frank White in house there. Bang, bang, Pulse Gang. Good to see Frank White. Big shout out. And we got work for crypto as well. Let's keep building and make Pulse Chain great. Absolutely. I love that attitude. That's great. All right. So let's have a look at Pulse Chain markets. And let's see where we're going here. Bam. All right. So Pulse Chain is racing, and I say racing towards 1,000 days. So Pulse Chain, a full system stake copy of Ethereum based on the 10th of May 2023, launched a couple of days later on the 13th of May 2023, and here we are, 982 days later. 982 days later, we've got 18 days to go to 1,000 days. Are we going to see something happen? Come on, Richard. Are we going? I don't know why I'm saying Richard. Could be some other person with the magic outride, but that is in play. So 18 days to go goes to 1,000 days. Crazy stuff. Pulse at the moment is at quadruple 164, down 1%, so no green candles at the moment. Pulse X at the moment, quadruple 122, down 1.32% at the moment. The ratio between Pulse X is you can get 3/4 of a pulse right now, so 0.75. If you want to invert that, then it's one pulse will get you 1.34 Pulse X. The buy and burn sitting at 8.41% right now, excluding the OA accounts. And then we got Ink token there at the moment, 61 cents. We got Hex at the moment at 27/100th of a penny, up 1%. So Hex is the only one up green today on the old it doesn't show green, but it's almost green, 0.94%, and that's not bad. eHex at the moment is such a deal right now. Oh my gosh, 00086 is the old eHex, and we know that Dipcatcher there was announcing that I think audits had been completed for FlexNet, and that could be launching very soon. So that's going to be kind of a second layer protocol for eHex, and going to have its own ecosystem. So another form of demand for that. So it's going to be pretty interesting to watch there. At the moment, eHex and PX combined price is at 36/100th of a penny. Not looking too good there. What a bargain is the old EX right now, and probably arguably the easiest one to pump. And with liquidity and, of course, potentially less sellers. Although we do have a seller, I think, a seller tranche going up, but I think that could be easily smashed. Smash, grab. I don't know. We'll see. But that is the play right now. Let's jump into the rest of the news. We're going to come back to some of these calls later on. Gas prices at the moment is at 387,000 beats. Pretty standard what we're seeing recently. 0.2 of a penny for a Pulse X swap. So, pretty similar to what's that? 1/5 of actually that's 1/10 of the average mean price for Ethereum that we saw earlier, right? So 1/10 there. Validus, we're at 52,358. We've been at this for about a week now. It's been kind of cool. We kind of bounced back and been stuck at that level now. Bridge at the moment, $79.7 million. We did get over 80 million for a day, and we're back down. eHex, of course, dragging us down here because eHex is, on the list. I wish it wasn't on the list, but it is bridged in, so I guess it has to be. And we got ETH at 6,000, DAI at 16.3 million, USDC at 16.1, and USD Tether at 4.8 million there. We are going to get more stable coins though. We've got at least 2 or 3 more liquidity forks coming. And we've even had LibertySwap tease about an algorithmic stablecoin. They apparently have had a flux capacitor moment. They're probably sitting on the toilet and smashed their head, and bam, they've got an idea for a algorithmic stablecoin. So we're looking forward to that. And of course, as you guys know, we're also looking forward to PUSD ALGO, although that's waiting for the Signum Oracle, and the Signum Oracle is subject to Tetra going commercial. It's currently on demo right now, and we're expecting that in February. So, and hopefully we'll get a PUSD algo update there as well. So we've got our own little stablecoin boom with liquidity forks and algorithmic stablecoins coming to Pulse Chain, and bring it on. It's the year for it, right? It's the year of the stablecoin. Well, this year and next year, because really, the Genius Act regulations July this year, and maybe January for the final implementation or confirmation there. And so, it's let's say the next 2 years, the stablecoin boom. Of course, Secretary Scott Bessent has talked about, $4 trillion in stablecoin boom. I think we're up about 300 million or so, I think, on Ethereum. So yeah, it's game on CoinGecko, I should say. But most of it's on Ethereum, right? And so boom, boom, boom time. Why not? Pulse Chain is doing pretty well with the liquidity forks. And we are excited for Vault 369 from Fast Abdul, the first multi-chain, multi-collateral liquidity fork. Pretty exciting. And we also possibly could have the 2 best decentralized algorithmic stablecoins if LibertySwap idea comes to market. And of course, PUSD algo as well. Yeah, it could be pretty exciting stuff in the old Pulse Chain on that storefront. So not bad. All right, so let's jump away and get into the Pulse Chain markets. we're on a pretty low volume today. We're coming off the weekend, right? Still Sunday in the US. And we have got low volumes, 3.6 million. So we're really quite low today, 3.6. We do have a few tokens launching. Now, as you guys know, I cover the top 100 trending on Deck Screen for PulseChain. So it's no endorsement of any particular token. Some people forget and they leave comments going, you talked about this thing. And I say, well, it was just on the list, man. It's on the list. Why are you doing that? You get all this stuff in. It's like and most of those people don't even watch your show properly, right? They don't even watch the show. They're just like, I heard you comment. It can be hard. It can be hard. Anyway, we've got Moon Day at the top there. Moon Day is a honeypot. So we're getting lots of honeypots at the top there. So be very careful of what you see on Deck Screener, because we are getting honeypots come through one after another. Now, if you want to find out, about a token, often CryptoSolve or somebody like that, who's one of our sort of analytical influencers or quants, they talk about that. We're going to be talking about CryptoSolve today, and they analyze some of these tokens. So Moon Day is a honeypot, sophisticated one. They're all sophisticated these days, aren't they? We've got our ETH there, one of the PulseChain forks from Rocket Pool. So one of the things that, and this is possibly, this has been a good thing and a bad thing, is that, of course, we had a full system state copy of Ethereum on the 10th of May, 2023. We get the good and the bad contracts, right? Because some of the contracts come over, they're not really supported. There's not, missing an oracle. Some of them rely on internal oracles and things like that. Some of them are just, sitting there idle, as far as I can tell, like Uniswap and things. So we do have a few risks around them. I think Johnny Chaos recently did a nice little write-up about that, so you can go check that out. But we got Wrapped ETH at the moment to Rocket Pool. R Pool, not Wrapped ETH, R ETH Rocket Pool. Of course, Rocket Pool, one of the two top ETH staking pools. So if you want to take your ETH and earn some yield, you can delegate it into Rocket Pool and get their derivative token. That's their RETH, and then you can go and put that into a farm or something like that and earn a secondary and often very high yield on those. So that's kind of the cleverness of DeFi. And you can't do this in the TradeFi world. Go to a retail banker, say, I want to do some investments. Oh, here's our unit trusts. Don't really know what they're doing, but I'm going to sell it to you because my boss says I have to sell it to you. And I'm going to go through all this. I don't really know about risk and return, but I'm going to sell you this anyway. Usual thing. Well, here's our savings account. We got we can give you a 0.5% for our savings. You guys know it's the TradeFi world's pretty crap. All right, so do you want your money out? No, you can't get your money out. You can't get your money out. All right, so enough of that. All right, we got RETH there at the moment. That's up 32% right now on the old Rocket Pool. We got Whale Bay up by 27% there as well. It's been around for 10 months. We got Greenwick's been around for about 7 hours there. I do like some of these ones. These guys are getting more inventive because we're getting animations in our little pictures now. So Wick there. I haven't checked this one out, so just take note of that. I don't know if that's a new pool or anything, but it's up a little bit there. Coin Mafia, of course, we're going to talk about that from Racker Michelle. That's up, having a little run right now, up almost 10% at just over almost 82 cents, I should say. We'll check that out when we go to talk about Coin Mafia. So we'll bring that back. Saw some Minimum on a bit of a move, up 4.5% as well. Now this is probably one of the saddest stories. Now I do think that the CEO is Wolfgang. He's in Europe there. So is it the Netherlands or Germany or something like that? But unfortunately, he changes his mind a lot. Obviously. And there is criticisms of him about 20 so years ago. You have to believe that people can change. Everyone changes, but some people do. And now he's running a big company, right? So presumably it's all going good. But they're going to be moving over to Solana, as we understand it. They've got massive buy and burn, taking their corporate profits, right? 20%, I think it was. Net profits there. Anyway, they've probably got, I'm just guessing, but they might have $20 million in a buy and burn or something. Really something insane. So that's going to be leaving, unfortunately. So that's capital we don't want. So, I keep talking about capital. We've got Magic Upright capital potentially from Richard Hart or whoever's running that. Inverted commas. And then we got Saucer Minimal that would have had significant capital coming from Europe, including access to institutions and high-value customers, right, through the Floyn market. And they've got something like, I think, 12 to 15,000 high-valued customers. These are high-worth individuals that invest in crypto and things. And they are looking to ratchet up their regulation compliance over multiple years to become fully compliant. I guess it's sort of almost like a crypto trading bank. And so this is the direction they seem to be going. And I think they probably suggested to Wolfgang, hey, look, go Solana because it's going to have the payment rails thing happening. And so I think that's kind of the general direction. Now, they're supposed to leave by the end of the year. I don't think they have. I don't think they have yet. So they may end up, going obviously in the future. So we'll just have to keep tabs on their updates that they have. They're in German, so I don't speak of the Deutschland, but that's coming up. So it's a shame. It's a shame because that would have been one big capital channel in the Pulse chain, and of course, SOAR would have been the value, the store of value there, right, as it gets bought and burnt with crypto profits. And they wanted to turn SOAR into a Bitcoin, right? So and the model would work if they achieve their revenue goals. Then yeah, it would work. But they've given out a lot of free coins at the beginning, so it's going to go through a lot of adjustments as people get super rich, right? Yeah, is the play. Now we've got P Tiger. P Tiger up 3.9%, a rising crypto influencer in the Pulse chain community. Likes guns and a little bit of craziness, but yeah, it seems like pretty genuine about building out the old P Tiger there. We've got Top Hat right now from Crypto Coffee, our top influencer, arguably, up 3.3% at the moment, and did get a bit of rotation from Peacock, but having a bit of an update today. Let's have a little look at the chart. We'll ratio to Peacock. Peacock, of course, being the official store of value. You can see that rotation in there with the old Top Hat there. So yeah, we'll keep a lookout and we'll see what maybe Crypto Coffee, once things start picking up in the market, he'll be out about talking about that a lot more. But he's doing his thing, doing his videos, doing a great job out there for Pulse Chain. We've got Panda X up at 2.7%. We've got Sparta at number 11 is up 1% there. So not a lot happening on the old chain on this lazy Sunday. Sunday often is typically a flat day to down day. And we've got RSI oversold there, a little bit green, Phoenix a little bit green, Unity a little bit green. I mean, there's a tad green, Zendog tied in the Peacock a little bit green, Curve token there a little bit green. So that's it, 20 tokens in the green in the top 100 trending. Everything else is in the red. But a lot of things down more than Pulse Chain probably. So let's have a look here. So just about everything down more than Pulse Chain, not surprising. Peacock there. We're going to talk about that too. So we'll pull up the chart for that. Peacock is just trying to hold on to 2 cents right now, but it's in a consolidation range. So as long as it holds around this area, it'll probably be not too bad. Let's pull up the old Peacock. We'll talk about that later too, since we are talking about LibertySwap. So we'll pull that back up. Let's see what else is down at the moment. So Gotti. So Gotti there was from launched on the old coin mafia, and that was down 30% right now. That's got a small LP. SCADA from Nuclear Supply down 18%. I don't know if this is still bleeding out. I'm not sure. It was doing pretty well, wasn't it? Yeah, okay, it's just down today, but it was actually up a couple of days. So that's SCADA from Nuclear Supply. Just sort of moving in that sideways range there, isn't it? Kind of quite a large range, but still moving sideways. So that's some of the big downers today. And then Staked ETH, of course, is the narrative around Staked ETH, and Compound and all that sort of stuff is down 15% today. Let's have a look at that chart. Yeah, look at that. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. They got market make pumped in it. Some market maker there has been acting on that. Is it the USDX team? Is it James Maria? Who's doing that stuff, man? Who's doing that stuff? Maybe Fast Abdul knows. Fast Abdul's in the house. I'm here for the tech. He is indeed. Fast Abdul says you can't prove Richard is the OA. It could be anyone. It could be anyone. All right, so there we go. We're at 1.4 cents right now for Staked ETH. And of course, that's another narrative out there running around, right? There's the old P compound for PDI. And I probably think we'll see how that goes. Just the latest one there. All right, so that is where we are with the markets. Let's go into Pulse Chain and have a look at the Pulse Chain chart here. And we're up to now in 3 minutes on the live. We're having a lot of fun here, though. We started a bit earlier so that we could have a slightly longer show. Pulse Chain, where's it all going at the moment? So it is looking kind of at a crossroads right now. Won't be shy from there. We've had a waterfall of selling down here. Now, if I add back the overlay, you can see this purple box here is the end of the SEC. In other words, SEC dark clouds for 2 years. We had a nice rally out of that. People enjoyed that. But since that time, we've been down. We've had obviously a number of large players to continue to sell down the charts as well. And of course, we had the liquidation event on the 10th of October as well. So, everything was pretty much down. If we look at the longer time horizon, all the way from the 10th of March 2024, we've essentially been going down, right? Even down on the longer time frame. So taking the shorter time frame, we've been having a waterfall down. We got all the way down to 4 zeros, 12.55. And now we're riding at the moment on the 9 moving average and the 21-day moving average as well, which is in purple. I normally don't have that in purple, so let me just change the color on that. I normally have it in turquoise, I think it is. And so that is where we are riding there. So we're going to hold on to this level right now. Let me zoom in on that a bit more. Trying to zoom on that. Let me pull it up. All right, so we are testing right now the 21 moving average. We really want to hold that. So we're at a crossroads right now with the old price. If we do break to the downside and there's not enough good news, then it's we're going down. And that's a bear scenario. We don't really want that to happen. So fingers crossed we can hold on to around this 21 moving average, which is at 16.13. We certainly, the all-time low there is now 12.55. So the bear case there just back down to that. Maybe we do a double tap would be 22%. And of course you wouldn't want to go past that. So we'll see how we get on. And we've had some sellers, right, selling out over this last couple of days. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. We're testing that line, that 21 moving average there on the daily. The RSI is at 50, so it's a reasonable place to bounce. So fingers crossed, we're really at the crossroads. That's all I can say right now. On that, we have got a bullish cross with the 9-day moving average. So it's let's say it's 60% upwards, 40% down at the moment. We'll see how that plays out. A very bullish move would be getting over the 1750 mark. So if we do get a nice little pump there with a bit of money coming in, that could be pretty good to the upside, just improve our bull case rather than our bear case. That's on the daily. The weekly at the moment on the chart, we're down on the RSI at 35. So, just humming around here. So when we do move, it's going to be pretty nice to the upside, and we could at least get to the 50 on RSI, if not, up to the 60s plus. But man, a full-on run would be, a nice little wave up. And then get overbought later on once we're re-rated dramatically in the old price. So that's kind of some of the marks there. We're still below a lot of the moving averages, of course. The current 21 weekly average is at a 2,424. So getting back over that would be pretty nice. Let's see how we get on. We've got a lot of things potentially coming up. ProveX, of course. Richard Hart's moved there around that. How he sets it up, most likely on Pulse Chain probably with Pulse. But here's some other things that could happen. He could launch another protocol, not even ProveX, not even around that. And he could also have another sacrifice, a supply sync. There's a couple of things that he could do to actually really rally the chain. And if he did it together or in very quick succession, it could be very, very bullish. And things turn around pretty quickly on thin liquidity, right? So we'll keep a lookout for that. He's interested in Pulse Chain Season there as well. So we're excited about all those possibilities. Could be pretty fun. All right, so that is a bit of a look at Pulse Chain. So we're at a crossroads right now. Hopefully the bottom was in. Hopefully the bottom was in back here 2 weeks ago, and let's see if we can finally get ourselves starting to move up, because it is an awesome year ahead for crypto. All right, some of the cool stuff that we've had, insights from Crypto Solves. A big shout out to him. He was tracking the Hex dumper. So obviously Hex at the moment is super cheap, and you can thank the Hex dumper for that. And then of course moving into Pulse. So we got our Hex dumper from earlier today looking to make a full exit. Just offloaded his Pulse X and ink bags in the Pulse, sitting on 15 billion Pulse, $250,000. Either this is a large rotation play, potentially preempting ProveX launching, or that Pulse might be heading into stables. And that's the other thing, right? People positioning their gaming for ProveX. So you can see all the cells and some of the previous images there. So that was from CryptoSolve. He's got a bit more about that. The guy was pretty much all out, I think, as well. We got this update from 30 minutes ago. So far, so good. Bottom on the 1st of January. Is this a brief reprieve or the start of a sustained uptrend? We retraced a little bit from the local top around the 10th, but Pulse is still up 27% since the 1st. So that is the key move. So can we hold on to that? Big deal there. And of course, we've obviously had some more sellers coming in. So yeah, that's kind of where we are. Let's jump over into the bridge update. And we got this up from CryptoSolve as well. What does this look like nearly 3 weeks on? The Pulse Chain bridge appears to have found a bottom as the new roll in with a 3.3 million increase in TVL since the 1st of the month. So obviously we've got the price move since the beginning of January. We've had pretty good friendly price moves. We seem to have the bridge seem to have stopped traumatizing itself. And it's potentially game on. So definitely some bullish signs for Pulse Chain. General crypto is not the only one getting it. A significant portion of the TVL increases due to increase in the prices of ETH and EX locked in the bridge contract. However, it's important to note that stablecoin values have also been slowly climbing. We've reported 4 months of negative flows previously, but the tide is turning. How will things look by the end of January? Or will we continue to hold the bottom? So people are going to be looking for that as well. And so we're looking forward to getting a bit of a move on with the bridge. We want to see that capital reversal, just one of the bullish things to come in. And of course, that could be fed by a couple of things. As you guys know, I talked about Signum would have been great. We've got all the capital from Europe coming in. And of course, from America, that is really, as I can see it, Raquel Michelle or Richard Hart or something like that, and maybe a few influencers and some rich guys, like the older guys that invested in Hex in 21, investing in Pulse Chain. So I think from memory analysis was about 1/3 of the top ETH whales had invested in Hex in some form or another, and during the last bull market. So it's about some of those guys thinking there's an opportunity as well. And not listening to Ivan on Tech with his comedy show. But let's move on. So that is looking pretty good. So some early signs for 2026. We'll keep a track on this and see how we finish for the bridge in January. And Pulse Chain holding on to this a bit of an up movement in the last couple of weeks for January, opening January. And we're at a crossroads though. So let's see how we get on. Looking more positive than not, I think. So we'll go 60-40 at the moment, 60-40 on the upward movement there. All right, we've got LibertySwap, of course, is bringing the alpha, and this is exactly what we need. So we need top capital, but we also need top tier DeFi, right? We need top tier DeFi, right? So and that will in turn be another catalyst for capital coming, right? So LibertySwap has been absolutely crushing it. They've been very consistent. They've been rolling out just an absolute juggernaut of a DeFi system, and it's at the frontier of capital efficiency, capital management. It's at the frontier of bridging, swapping. It's at the frontier of privacy, and that's continuing to roll out. It's at the frontier of intent trading, and that's also continuing to roll out. Multiple chains, that's at the frontier of all that. So the ecosystem is really growing. It's now got hooks to hook in a lot of DeFi. There's going to be very tough on a lot of other DeFi and developers on Pulse Chain, by the way. It could be ramifications of that because if these guys can hook in Aave forks and everything else, and they've got the main river flow that people are flocking to, multi-chain, and they've got arbitrage and money moving and all sorts of stuff, making fees. They can start running away pretty quickly, especially as the market starts to move up. So, LibertySwap is a catalyst for the market moving up, but it's also going to be a beneficiary of the market moving up, and it all can increase pretty fast. Those fees can climb pretty fast when you've got heaps of tokens and multiple chains and multiple products all running at the same time. The fee expansion could be take people off guard there. So pretty exciting. Also could be not just such a huge utility system sitting right in the middle of the river, the river flows, the bridge, but also could be the meme coin, the one meme coin to rule them all. And they're really targeting that. They're not mucking around. They're trying to get coin market cap. They just got the listing. The market love that. They're still ranked by volume and not by market cap. They're trying to get all the bells and whistles ticked off with coin market cap so that they can get re-rated on market cap. That would put them in the top 800 plus. And then, of course, they get there, and the market's going to go, hey, you guys just got re-rated on market cap. You're at 800. We're going to buy you up, and so you move to 700 to 600, etc. And then you got all the DeFi playing, all the news constantly flowing. So it's really becoming the juggernaut on the Pulse chain. They all have to do is be consistent. They've officially announced that Peacock is a store of value, and they just have to be consistent, just keep rolling out. But they're fast innovators. They're doing the frontier stuff. It really is pretty exciting, and we know that it's probably going to get a lot of support in projects like Fast Abduls, for example, with Vault 369 probably. So we've got LibertySwap here. There's some of the latest updates. So this graphic is AI generated, but it shows how LibertySwap privacy routes unlock insanely powerful privacy features that could permanently reshape the privacy landscape. And we know that there's a bit of a game on there for that, and it looks like LibertySwap is bringing some leading edge solutions in the space. And of course, remember, Pulse Chain is always a full system state copy of Ethereum. And so we've still got price discovery playing out. And this is a huge opportunity here. So we've got all these different chains, base chain, Solana, not just doing EVM chains, but SVM chains as well. And that's wonderful access. Isn't it great to be able to just go from Solana to the Pulse chain and Pulse chain back out? I mean, come on, guys. This is just, they've really opened up the floodgates here for Pulse chain. That used to be a big frustration for a lot of people, right? They want to play on both ecosystems. Now they can do it. So it's pretty cool. So 14 hours ago, GameFi, meme coins, and NFTs sit at the highest risk end of the crypto market. That is true. We know that for a fact. When they start pumping, the rest of the market usually follows. Signs of a healthy altcoin market return are everywhere. Peacock is leading the market there. So there we go. That's one view on that one. I definitely NFTs kind of, for me, the last thing to move. But meme coins can move early. And GameFi in specific niches can move early as well. But NFTs definitely late, and that'll be probably the last thing. When you see the NFTs moving, guys, sell your bags, because it's probably game over for this part of the cycle, right? NFTs, man. Look, if the NFTs are utility, then that's fine. But if they're just something else, then take note. All right, so we've got Zero Trust there, part of the trifecta, is it? Tied into the old Peacock, building out the ecosystem as well. 6 hours ago, LibertySwap says they will start to worry if Ethereum faces new issues when the network is pushed to its limits again. Last time the problem was gas fees from 2018 2025. Of course, we've got second layer protocols and all of the upgrades since then. In 2023, the Ethereum, we will still get some spikes, but that is the good. In 2023, the Ethereum blockchain experienced 2 brief incidents where blocks failed to finalize instability that introduced real risk. These problems will return in different forms, and they can be extremely damaging to Ethereum security and to all the value on the network. Calling for security is not a joke. Absolutely there. We got Vitalik in response to Vitalik there. We got the Dragon engines, haven't we? The Dragon's engines there, I think. They're using it on Starship as well, I think. We got Sean in there. Sean, you're everywhere. You're everywhere there. So that is a little upside there. So they're commenting on a lot of market stuff. Kind of cool. Big shout out to Crypto Coffee, putting out these cool videos. If you haven't checked it out, go check out Crypto Coffee. There, doing these cool videos. All right, we got 5 hours ago. Connect all routes to Railgun, and we have clean, powerful privacy swap routes across every blockchain. With just a few more steps, users will no longer need separate privacy protocols on Solana. At that point, weak anonymity sets offer little real value. Stronger anonymity sets always win. That is why people stayed with Tornado Cash and Railgun for so long. There's Lady Liberty at work. Or if we can do better, we can build communication and balance exchange between protocols across different blockchains. This would solve the problem for new blockchains with weaker anonymity sets and give them a really chance to grow. And then Sean's everywhere. Look at Sean, man. Sean is everywhere. Everywhere, man. So we've got lots of comments in there. All right, let's keep moving on with the old LibertySwap updates. Now, we're getting up to what I wanted to get to. This kind of the main post for today with LibertySwap. We are moving fast to roll out major updates and a full UX rework. So UX means user experience rework there. So give me a refreshing, probably easier follow user experience there. Other blockchains are accelerating too, and we have no time to lose. Weekdays are for building, weekends are for upgrading. Be here with us. So very exciting for that. So they'll be building out a lot this week, and we're looking for more rollouts there. Multi-chain is coming as well with some of the privacy updates. So keep a lookout for that. We've got lots of cool things happening there. What else we got there? I'm not sure if we're going to read through this one here. But it's all game on here. Just trying to see which ones I was going to read or not. All right, so we're going to bounce out of there. You can go read some of these posts around technology. Scroll past that too. So 2 hours ago, for future development, NFC directly at the wallet layer, no card needed, no Visa, MasterCard, no POS systems, just a simple phone-to-phone tap, Apple Pay level UX with USDC rails. That is the end game. There are strong rumors Apple Pay and USDC is coming, and I think LibertySwap's going to be playing in that role, right? With now USDC enabled privacy moves, and credit card probably coming down the line there. All right, so that is kind of some of the cool stuff there. They've obviously got their development phases, improve the cross-chain experience on Pulse Chain, improve privacy on Pulse Chain, improve the trading experience on Pulse Chain. And I think we've got a lot in all the space still to come, and they're just constantly rolling out features. I think it's going to be pretty exciting here. Phase 1 focused on cross-chain swap and send functionalities between Pulse Chain and other blockchains. Phase 2 plans to integrate additional privacy routes and services, enhancing the platform's privacy features. And then phase 3, expanding to a full set trading suite for Pulse Chain, Ethereum, and EVM networks. And remember, they were talking about hundreds of different trading features, and we've only got a few of those so far. So I think there's a lot of stuff happening. The guys got so many different areas to work on. It's pretty crazy. So we're going to get a lot of good stuff there. A lot of this stuff is very close, guys, to launching. And so this is going to be just a huge setup foundation for the year ahead with the old LibertySwap. Now, LibertySwap, of course, is putting their value into Peacock. Peacock there is their store of value, just being tested at the moment around the 2 cent mark, but nice consolidation in here. So got a consolidation between 1.76 and 2.1, let's say just below 2.2 cents. So got a little bit of consolidation there. In these areas here, this is when we actually had the technology upgrades, right? So we had Railgun launch and the V2 rollout at the end of 2025. And then we get the market then re-rates the coin, and then we get a re-rate in the market by the market. Interesting times there on and upwards. So, we got a good chance that Pulse Chain can hold the line where it is right now, get a nice little movement to the upside. We got the bridge stabilizing. We get a couple good projects, couple good capital flows moving in, and maybe Vault 369 is one of those key ones. I mean, it really is could be pretty helpful for that. And then up to the right there, and of course ProveX as well sitting out there too. So. This is looking very good. The RSI is cooling off. Remember, it was very overheated, and we're down at 61. So just a nice cooling off in this consolidation range. Very, very nice for the Peacock setup. And as I say, with the coin market cap, it's currently rated around about 4,300 or so on the ranking. If it switches from volume to market cap, it jumps it straight to 800 plus on its market cap of about 17, 16 million here. It's probably even dropped a little bit further now that the price has come back a little bit, but that it's a pretty big number. I think it was about maybe, let's just say it's around 80x or so to get up to the top 50, which is their target, right? And of course that would be pretty exciting. I think it's about $1.50 or something. Pretty huge upgrades. They posted out some pumpamentals the other day of $3 that would put them actually in the top 35 on coin market cap. But if they successfully keep expanding this ecosystem, dominating Pulse Chain gets pumped as well. Of course, it's multi-chain. They're doing multi-chain, not just Pulse Chain. Could be pretty exciting where this all goes. One day at a time. It's a marathon, guys. It's a marathon with some cool sprints in the middle as we go. All right, these guys are definitely sprinting. I mean, the LibertySwaps are really rolling out pretty damn fast, and I think it is really the shining light on the hill right now on a Pulse Chain. But we've got some other cool projects as well. Vault 369 definitely looks like it's going to be a good TVL contributor, and of course leading the frontier DeFi with multi-chain, multi-collateral liquidity fork coming up as well. So we've got to be excited about that. And then we've got Coinwell too, right? Coinwell's coming out, could be quite the juggernaut. I talked about the losing Sun Minimal in terms of its capital flows, and that would have been massive. But also, from the US point of view, we really have people like Rack and Rochelle that potentially have networks into the US. Possibly, Saudi as well and stuff like that. I'd love to see that in action. That's what I'm really looking forward to, and that could be really cool. So we've still got one of those two avenues, but LibertySwap's in Europe probably, right? So the bulk of the team's probably in Europe. So you never know. They might surprise us there as well. Who knows? Hopefully, they know some investment bankers or something. We'll see. But that's Peacock at the moment, holding around about 2 cents. RSI cooling down, and I guess getting ready for the next move. All right, so we got that in play. Now, I was going to talk about Coin Mafia, so we're going to talk about that. Let's have a look at the daily chart here. That's the daily chart. Hasn't been around very long. Got a very flat price curve there. And as I understand it, I think Rackham's he got some early bags in that move, and is largely only a fraction of what he was indicating he might move. So it's a marathon, not a sprint. We'll keep a look out for that. But that's currently 81 cents with the old Coin Mafia, and that's ticking away there, just up a little bit today. First kind of real green day at the moment happening there on day 5, 6. So let's have a look at Rackham Michelle's updates. So Rackham Michelle said by the time Coin Mafia VIP wallet unlocked, which is 3 months after the launch, so what's that, 85 days from now, approximately, there will be only 4 times the supply of Bitcoin, literally. So he's comparing, obviously, the CoinWell supply to Bitcoin. And so that's kind of the numbers here. So they've got Bitcoin at 20 mil, $95,000. He's got Coin Mafia, 80 million coins at 77 cents. So he's kind of indicating that's the upside there. So, but what I'm more interested in actually is the rollout of Coin Mafia. And I'm even more interested, probably 100 times even more interested in is the rollout of CoinWell. CoinWell is the flagship from what I can tell, my understanding of the protocol so far. And I'm looking at what that can do and the capital that can be put in there. Because with CoinWell, you can get corporate money, VIP, high worth customers, other venture capitalists, things like that into CoinWell. That would be an easy sell. So that's going to be the stuff that I'm looking forward to there. So that's kind of the play. And of course, if you've got CoinWell anchoring the DeFi space, and you've got Coin Mafia, which is more the speculative coin market, then if you can get take a premium cut of those Coin Mafia coins and then tie them back into CoinWell, maybe through staking support or swapping, lots of different things you could do there. That's going to be pretty interesting, and that will actually help raise the Coin Mafia top tier tokens. Not talking about all the tokens, of course. We only know you get a couple percent get bonded, right? A couple percent maybe get bonded out of all the coins that get put up. But even now that's let's say 2% that get bonded, only a fraction of that, it will get in this premium space. And I think Rackham's been looking at that. And so there'll be, maybe Bria, something like that. And then that gets tied back into CoinWell. CoinWell becomes the main arm where all the capital is flowing into. And it kind of becomes a bit of a seesaw potentially. So I'm looking to see that. And I want to see, the venture capitalist make it happen with the network and the skill set. So that's what I'm excited about. That's the number one priority for me. I know a lot of people in crypto just after the price, but actually I'm wanting to see the playbook be played. And it could be pretty exciting. So I'm looking forward to that. Now with that, of course, I think no, if we've got any other updates there, but I think that was the main one. Yeah, from Rackham. Now we did have one from Jen. Now Jen is actually his wife, and Jen is the CEO of Coin Division. So Coin Division is the umbrella company over CoinWell, CoinArchy, Coin Mafia, and Coin Mentor. So this is pretty exciting. She's I think professional. I think her background is professional marketing, that sort of thing. And she's got builders are already using Coin Mafia exactly how it was intended: launch, iterate, and build a real community. Now remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So they've got obviously they've only got 2 chains at the moment. They're ramping up to 375 plus. The base is the next chain. Obviously, the top 20, 30 chains are the low-hanging fruit. That's where most of the volume and activity is. So it's going to be pretty interesting with that. Now, I don't think if you're going to have a playbook, then you're going to have marketing in it, right? Marketing and promotion. So that's the part we're still waiting for. But before you do that, you want to ramp up the blockchains. You want to maybe you get 1 or 2 influencers launching, large influencers launching coins or something like that, and you just get that branding out because the branding's excellent. Coin Mafia branding's excellent, and so yeah, we're looking to see all that play out. Like I say, I'm more interested in the playbook than in the value. I think the value is just a downstream, follow through from that. Now I do believe Ben put out I think a X space with a whole ton of crews, including Giga. Joshua Wu, and people like that. So you can go check that out if you want to get a breakdown of the launch phase. I'm not really talking about that. I'm really talking about the future and the playbook. I'm more interested in that. But if you want to go check out, around the launch, things that happen on launch, go check out that video. I thought it was pretty good, and Ben was in there as well. So builders are already using CoinMafia exactly how it was intended: launch, iterate, and build a real community around an idea. And yesterday, our team did it again. We launched our second coin on the platform, not because we're trying to promote a token. I'm not interested in hype. I'm interested in proof. Proof that Coin Mafia X isn't a concept desk or a promise. It rails, it works. People are actually creating something from nothing. Deploy it and watch the market respond in real time. This is what I care about. A platform where builders don't need background dev favors. A platform where launch isn't gatekept. A platform where the product is strong enough that the team uses it same way everyone else does, over and over, until it's bulletproof. If you can build on the community, you can build a coin. We're building the rails there. So you can see the marketing is pretty damn good. We're going to keep a lookout for that. Now, that doesn't mean that coins are going to be successful. I'm not talking about that necessarily. Obviously, you want successful coins to make the platform successful. But, it's just the first 5 days. So we'll see what happens. Everything is entrepreneurial, right? So, and we know 5% of entrepreneurial stuff typically fails in the first 3 to 5 years. But this is a venture capitalist, and you've got some skills with Jen. So I'm really excited to see where this all heads in the future. So we're going to keep monitoring and the evolution of this. And success breeds success. So we'll see. It's going to be fun. I've waited many years to see Rackham use his playbook, and I know he's been wanting to launch these projects for some time. And I think the tie into CoinWell is going to be very key. As well, and also the influencer network that he's talked about as well. Those are all balance sheet items, and I'm excited to see it. All right, lots of innovations could come into space as well. Now we've got Super Snake in the house there. Hey, Superman, can you look at the Atropa chart? Since we lost 5 cents, do you think we go back to 3 cent range? Now, I wanted to do a whole video on James Maria and his ecosystem, Super Snake. I've just got a lot on at the moment. In the personal life, so just trying to get enough time to do that. But I'll try and do that. Get Hex is in the house there. Does Rackham sell on his own followers, or is that all speculation? Well, Rackham will be he'll have profit motive just like everybody else, but he is trying to build I think he's actually trying to build an ecosystem here of top quality protocols. If you do want to get more info, Get Hex, I would definitely go watch that stream from Joshua Wu. Had a lot of people on there, some people that were involved in picking up Coin Mafia token and all the rest of the CM token, which was the kind of the false launch one as well. So you can go check out all the issues there. It was actually a pretty good summary, I think, of a lot of things going on. Hexamoto says Gotti. Yeah, Gotti was launched by the team there. All right, so we're going to keep a lookout for that. And I'm really excited to see Jen's role in the Coin Mafia. And like I said, it's a bit of a marathon now. So looking forward to see that play out. Now, Coin Mafia itself is alive, and we can see that. Let's go see how many chains it's got so far. So it's still got only Ethereum and a Pulse chain, which is fine because you want to build up. But base chain is going to be the next one, as we understand it. So base chain coming there, targeting 365. Now we've got 5 pages to, I think. Let's have a look. So, 5 pages of coins so far launched. That Superman one there, by the way, is not me. You guys know I'm not even talking about it, so it can't be me, right? So that is not me. And you'll get other people there, launching lots of tokens there. KFC. KFC. Make me hungry. I see the KFC. Make me hungry. What else we got there? We've got Gotti. So Gotti there. Let's have a look at the ones that actually have launched by chain. So we'll look at Pulse Chain. Let's go to bonded. So you got bonding curve, which means that it's trying to graduate, and then it will go to Pulse X or whatever, depending on the DEX it is, depending on the chain. But we're going to look at graduated. So we had 5 the other day. I looked at what was the last time I covered CoinWell? 3 days ago, maybe. I didn't stream yesterday, so it might have been about 3 days. And we had 5 been bonded. So now we've got 8 bonded now. So it's pretty interesting. We've got Coin Mafia 8, John Gotti. So this is the one I think yesterday that Hex Motor Plus is talking about. And that chart, we saw that when we went to top 1,000 trending, it retraced 25%, which is not uncommon, right? People are going to get profit taking on the launches. Thank you, Superman. You're most welcome there, Get Hex. Joshua Wu, I think has got the stream link there for this space. It's an X space one there. It was pretty good, actually. They covered a lot of the issues. I'm not sure where it is in the in the things. You might have to fast forward a little bit. But Ben is talking in there. What else? We've got Coin Mafia app, John Gotti, Pulse Chain Mafia, Chivo there, PDI, Wanted, and Bria. So it's a bit controversial around the Bria launch there because obviously there's the original Bria that's going to get supported for Coinwell as the AI agent. So I'm not sure I think that got trounced. I think the price got absolutely smashed on this Bria. So I think the original one will still be the dominant one there. But this is the Mafia coin at the moment. So just the beginning. We'll keep watching, guys, and seeing it evolve. Sometimes, there's a little crawl, a little controversy, a little crawl, and then ramp up, right? And that's kind of what, that's kind of what Rackham is talking about or teasing there with the old price. So we'll see. Nothing is investment advice, nothing certain. We're watching, like I said, I'm mostly interested in Rackham playbook and skill set. I'm really excited about that. And, obviously a big venture capitalist worth a lot of money. He's been waiting for years to do this. So I'm excited too. I've been following him for years, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So that's kind of the play there. At the moment, it's just under 81 cents right now, and 85 days until the first whitelist of people get unlocked. Apparently, they're going to be random every 6 to 8 hours, but I don't know. We'll see. See what happens there. I'm not too interested in that at the moment. I'm really just interested in the rollouts of the ecosystem. And he wins, and the protocols wins. Then Pulse Chain and will win as well. I think so. Kind of cool. All right, so let's see. Let's watch out. The last bit of what we're going to talk about is the Grays. We're doing quite the long show today, hour and 35 minutes. But this is a new dashboard for PDC the Grays. PDC the Grays, of course, one of the biggest communities on Pulse Chain, without a doubt, along with PDI and a few others. We've got PDC the Grays and UFO, and this is our first DAO token on Pulse Chain. Certainly been one of the most best value plays on Pulse Chain in history. Obviously, it's had quite the retrace since then. And of course, people looking for a second round there as well. So we'll see where that goes, but it certainly seems to be finding some sort of floor at the moment. Let's go to PDC the Grays, the new dashboard, ptgc-ufo.com. And if you want to find out really good insights analysis about this, go check out Prairie Banana. He's an influencer that specifically covers PDC to UFO, and there's probably nobody that knows it upside down as much as him. Maybe a few other people, not influencers, but but he's the only influencer out there that really lives and breathes this stuff. So PDC the Grays, the first DAO token on Pulse Chain, and we got this cool dashboard. Not sure who made this dashboard, but it's pretty cool. We also got this is what I want to see. I'd like to see this for Coinwell. So this would be cool for Coin Mafia to have a dashboard about all the tokens, volume, supplies, and everything like that. But not just for Coin Mafia, but actually other protocols too could do with the dashboard. You can do really fancy dashboards, very sort of futuristic, which I like. Now I'm thinking of things like EVE Online. And other space games which have these cool UIs. That would be really cool, right? That would be really cool. This is not bad, though. This is a pretty nice looking dashboard, as you guys can see. And it's got things like market cap, volume, liquidity, etc. like that. Holders, holder counts, their tokens and LP, 24-hour transactions. So you can kind of see the health of the ecosystem. I do like charts, guys. And so I'd like to see more charts. Now, if you go down to the pools, you can see the charts of the pools. But I actually would like to see, charts where even if you have to snapshot like UDC at the NDC day and you start snapshotting, however they have to do it, I'd love to see charts of volumes, trackings. Obviously volume you can just track with a chart, but I'd love to see that. But you can see that volume is down 60% on the 7-day average prior, right? Because we had this run up in the beginning of the year. We got transactions there is up 27%, ironically enough, 486. As well, and don't forget, pretty much a lot of chains are bogged down by bot trades as well, and market makers, etc. So yeah, that is kind of where we are. So almost 17,000 holders in PDC the Grays. Not bad there. I don't know how many dust wallets there are, but that's pretty impressive. So definitely one of the largest there. We've got the burn supply there. We've got the value generated for PDC. We've got the token allocations, the treasury DAO there. Pretty cool. We've got the DAO value apparently 120,000, 113,000 ready for deployment. So they've got some battle tested. We talk about Rhinofy. They got their own treasury and their combat token. Well, they've got treasury here looking pretty healthy. Kind of cool. Now, obviously, with the price down at where it is at the moment, and you can become a larger holder pretty quickly. So it's something to consider there. Now, they've also got big influencers involved. That can be a positive and a negative. But people like B Roots and Ian Heinrich that think people like that are into PGC can be like they're holding a lot of coins. You know what I'm saying. But we'll see. They got KPI. That's the dashboard. They got KPI report. Got the socials on here. Pretty impressive. Look at all the stats in here. Look at all these tabs. Token allocation, for example. Pretty neat. So really good dashboard, as you guys can see. So love to see a bit more of this because people can make more decisions. So if we go back into that dashboard there, we got the top here. You can switch to the UFO one, which is the secondary token they launched, and I think that's ended up burning off something like a 1.5%, is it, of the PDC supply. So it definitely has added some value there. Pretty cool. All right, what's there? Total burn supply 8.76% now on UFO. What was it on PDC? Total burn supply PDC 13%. So there we go. That is slowly tracking along there. So a really cool site. Might as well post that in the chat there. If you guys are involved, a lot of people will probably maybe participating in PDC UFO. You can check that out there. Once again, if you want to get more alpha, go check out Prairie Banana. He does live streams every day, I believe. Every day. Just about, or every couple of days at least. What else? Someone else was in the chat here about PDC the Greys. I'm not sure who it was. That's that. Yeah, so sitting in the background, and we've still got a few things going on with the P compound and 9 Irons Capital. PDI to $1. We've got that out there. We've got some sort of interesting sort of support from LibertySwap around potentially some sort of layer zero technology there. So we'll see what happens in all that space. We know there's a couple of teams out there potentially trying to help make that happen. So that'd be fun to see. Who else? What else have we got there going on? We got the next big thing, of course, is probably Fast Abdul's 369, Vault 369, multi-chain, multi-collateral liquidity fork. We're excited about that. We do have other cool things potentially coming down the line with Stew and the commercialization of Tetra, and then of course the rollout of Signum Oracle should be pretty quickly after that, and then hopefully PUSD ALGO, and that is from Jacob. That's his flagship. We'll get an update about that. We also could see his Mafia game launch is getting pretty close to finality. That'd be our first major game on PulseChain, I would say. We've got a few other games out there now, sort of niche little things, but that's kind of a big platform, the old Mafia game. And of course, On-Chain Bear, our first full decentralized crypto casino operating on PulseChain too. We have a few other casino type of games, but that'll be the main one there. Given that X game, it's pretty much was turned in pretty quickly. So that's kind of the play at the moment. What else is happening out on PulseChain? Lots of project teams are doing cool things. I mean, Incend is doing some good stuff. They're building a little DeFi ecosystem, and they've got a sacrifice project at the moment on, obviously, to expand their services. They've been doing, it's okay to support people. We don't really have any sort of formal capital raise. Obviously, we've got the token launches, but actual capital raises, people need capital to expand. And, if they've proven themselves, as Sin seems to be, do what they say, then that's not a bad bet, is it? Not a bad bet. So they're on the move right now. They're going to have their airdrop as well coming up. I think this did airdrop. They've got another airdrop coming up eventually. I think when they get 2,500 holders or users, I can't remember which measure it is, but that's coming up as well. So all the best to the Send team. They seem to be building out the DeFi, over $1 million in trading volume now. So if we're, they're climbing the ranks. They're earning their stripes, as it were. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We've got the Monster Thread coming out later today, guys. Monster Thread, what number is it? 37, guys. PulseChain's hottest publication, hottest news is coming out later today. PulseChain Monster Thread number 37. We got some awesome projects in there, guys. You're going to look for it. It's going to be amazing. We've got some of the we're going to have all the hottest news over the last week, and we're going to have some of the hottest projects on PulseChain. So I think it's going to be pretty exciting. Monster Thread number 37 coming up. If you're a project team out there, you want to get in on the action, then hit myself up or MVS Crypto. He's the promotional lead and editor of the Monster Thread. The Kryptonite show it's just so much fun doing these sort of things. It really is cool. And it is making a big impact. So I think we're getting upwards of 35 to 50,000 viewers, and this is in a bear market. You can imagine a bull market, the amount of views that we're going to get on the Monster Thread we're probably talking big numbers, easily 6-figure numbers coming up in the future once Pulse Chain starts rallying. You guys know what it's like when we had the Pulse Chain sacrifice, the PulseX sacrifice, Hex going up 13 times, parabolics. People come out of everywhere, guys. It's going to be a crazy, crazy time. All right, hope you guys enjoy it. Don't forget to catch me tomorrow. I'll be doing the same day live stream. This was a big, long one today because I really wanted to get through a lot of stuff around Ethereum. It is a big deal, guys. We're game on now. Pulse Chain is going to, enjoy the glow, and we've got some of our own fundamentals as well happening as well. So very, very exciting. Keep up the great work, everybody, and catch you guys tomorrow. Before we end, though, we've got Heartwood Dog in the house. Good morning, Super and Pulse Chain friends. A big shout out to the Hog team. Yeah, Hog Chart's been pumping, guys. Our anime series on Pulse Chain, Heartwood, the Pulse of the Fallen, absolutely amazing. And of course, season 2 is about to drop, guys. Season 2, and it looks unbelievably good. The artwork, the storyline looks amazing. So we can't wait for that Heartwood Dog. Thanks for doing that. Really is really, really cool. We've got Valiant in house there. As always, many thanks for the Alpha Suit, man. You're most welcome there as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're streaming on 3 YouTube channels: the Crypto Night Show, Superman Crypto, and Pulse Chain X are really great. We've been growing on those channels, so smash the subscribe and help us grow even more. It's been a really good sign. And of course, if you're on X, don't forget to follow on X, the Crypto Night Show. We're rebuilding the channel, heading towards 1,500. Our old channel, which had about 6,500 followers, got pulled down for no reason. So now we're rebuilding back because that's what we do. We're fighters, right? In life, always be the guy that gets back on the horse. Always be the guy that fights, fights, and fights for your rights to party. Onwards and upwards, guys. Pulse Chain, feeling good about it. This is our year, guys. The golden age of America is upon us, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. So place your bets and get ready to rock and roll. Hexvader in the house as well. Good to see you, Hexvader. Thank you so much for watching the show, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Let's play a little. We might get a little visitor. Shall we? We'll see. Let's see if a little visitor comes in. Yeah, there we go. Visitor at the door, guy. Visitor at the door. Let's see. What do you got to say for yourself?
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a God giant at any moment. Green candle at any moment. Giant green candle. It's easier to get them because it's easier to get economic because it takes less economic for sale because there's less of it for sale.
All right, that was a message from our sponsor. All right, take care, guys. Catch you guys tomorrow, and bye for now. Woohoo! Game on.